Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be planning in my Sweet Kawaii Design Cricut Paper Co planner for most of the month of April, 4 full weeks, as well as the monthly overview. I'll be using the April monthly kit from Sweet Kawaii Design and one of our latest kawaii kits called Terrarium. I'm going to be starting with the monthly overview. In this planner, all of the months are together in one section and all the weeks are in a separate section. And I've been using the monthly overview to track our dinners for the entire month. I love doing this because it helps me when I'm meal planning so I can see how long it's been since I made a certain meal. I do like to spread things out a little bit and make sure we're not eating the exact same thing every week. Ideally, I would spread out the type of protein that we have and the type of carbs that we eat in each meal. I would spread those out throughout the week, but lately that has been really difficult to plan out. One reason is because my husband usually tries to cook a couple meals a week, but he has been really swamped at work lately. Plus he's doing his master's program and all of these other personal development things that he has on his plate right now. So I've been trying not to add that to his list of things to do. And if there is a meal that he wants to cook, usually I try to prep it so that he just has to go in the kitchen, get it in the pan, and he's able to get it done a lot quicker. But I definitely go in and out of phases where I really love cooking. I have a plan, I know exactly what I want to make. And then there's just weeks where I don't want to cook at all. Either I'm bored of everything we've been making or I am trying to focus on editing videos, and sometimes filming takes a lot longer than expected, so it can be hard for me to switch gears and try to focus on cooking dinner. Another thing is with all the meal planning, there also has to be grocery shopping done, and that has to be kind of strategic based on what meals we have. And for the most part, I usually dread going to the store unless I really want to get out of the house. So that's usually another factor in how our meal plan goes. But my husband actually just came up with some program on Excel to generate a random meal schedule for us. So we added all of our meals that we've been making, and it comes up with a few different options of meals for the week. And this is our first week actually using it, and it worked out pretty well. I'm just worried about in the future whether they keep repeating the same meals or not, so I'm going to have to keep an eye on that. But it was kind of nice not having to decide what we were going to eat for the week, but I'm curious to see how long this will last for us. But anyways, this monthly overview is mainly for meal planning, but I also like to mark important days so that I don't forget during my weekly spreads. I usually add birthdays here and our paydays, and then any big appointments that I don't want to forget. In April, we started with the end of our spring break, and we had a lot of birthdays that we celebrated this month. 2 for my nephews and 4 of my cousins. We also had taxes scheduled this month. Of course, there was Easter, and my husband and I celebrated our dating anniversary. I also love adding the wacky holidays in here. They're usually a lot of food-related holidays, so if I can incorporate any of those days into our meals for the week, I like to do that. I noticed that this was the first month where the monthly overview kit fit pretty perfectly in this monthly layout, and mainly I am talking about the sidebar sticker. In the previous months, the sticker was a bit thinner and longer, so I had to decide if I wanted it centered or lined up on one side. But I noticed that this one fit pretty perfectly, so I'm assuming the rest of the months will have the same dimensions for this sidebar sticker. We had so many events to celebrate this month that I pretty much use all of the stickers from the kit. I just have some leftover icons that I like to use in my budget planner. Next, I'm getting into the weekly spreads, and I already had all the date dots put onto the date covers. I'm only going to show myself putting on the date covers and the bottom washi for 1 week, since all 4 weeks have the exact same date covers and bottom washi. The only difference that I made in some of the weeks for the bottom washi was that I switched the side that Frank was on, but the weeks pretty much still look the same. Next, I'm going to be dividing out the stickers. I love doing this because I like to make sure that I have an even amount of stickers throughout each week, and I like to make sure all of the colors are evenly spread out, as well as all of the elements in this kit. The kawaii kits are 10 pages plus the bottom washi, so there are a lot of pages to go through and a lot of stickers to divide out. I didn't have any blank pages readily available right next to me, so I just peeled off the backing of 4 of the sheets, the ones that I knew that I was going to be moving around. And I started with a weekend banner since they're all the same. That was really easy to split out. Then I started going through some of the easier boxes, which were the half boxes and quarter boxes. I knew each week would at least get one of each color. And this month ended up being pretty fun to split out and plan with because there were 4 colors. So in a lot of ways, it was easy for me to split out these stickers. And especially for the weekends, I like to use the shorter checklist in the weekends. And since there are a certain number of the shorter checklist and certain colors, I had to make sure that I had the right colors in each weekend. And this one was pretty fun because I was able to have a combination for each weekend. So both blues, the pink and the purple, and then the blue mixed with each of those colors. I don't know if that makes sense, but each weekend was able to be a unique color combination, and that really helped me keep track of each of these different weeks. Normally for the last week of the month, I try to have all of my favorite stickers in that spread, but this kit was actually really hard to choose favorites because there were so many adorable stickers. I just wanted to use all of them as my favorite. Plus these colors are all my favorites, so it was even hard for me to decide which 2 colors I wanted in the weekend. But this kit came at the perfect time. In March, I had decided that I wanted to start reading more and start reading as a hobby. So I think if this kit came out last year, I definitely would have purchased it because I love the color so much. But I don't think I would have enjoyed it as much because I never considered myself to be someone who enjoyed reading. And even now, I think it's kind of hard for me to say that, but I'm currently on my 5th book. So the fact that I've even read 4 already is kind of amazing. I love when the full boxes have more than one color in the background, so I'm able to use it on either of those colors if I need to. While I was dividing out the stickers, I wasn't exactly sure which weeks I would need more of a certain color. I definitely started to figure that out once I put down the checklist. So maybe next time I will add the checklist to all of the weeks before I divide out the stickers. Maybe that will give me a better idea of which colors I need in which weeks. This kit was actually really satisfying to put down because the colors just worked out perfectly and I was able to color block for the entire month. But getting into the weekly spreads, as you can see, I started with laying down the weekend checklist. In these kits, there are usually 3 rows of long checklists and 1 row of short checklists. And for this one, they were all scallop checklists, so that made it a bit easier. But I still had to use the small checklist for the weekend since there aren't enough long checklists to use one for every single day. But it works out if you do Monday through Friday and then the short ones for the weekend. I knew I had to get the weekend colors just right because I always end up making that mistake and running out of the color that I need. So I wanted to start with the weekend, put down the weekend banner, and then I can figure out the rest of the colors. Since there are 4 colors in this kit, I knew that the same colors in the weekend would also be on Tuesday and Wednesday, so those colors would automatically be repeating, but then I had to decide which color I wanted to put on Friday because that would repeat on Monday, and I just wanted to make sure that I didn't use the same color on multiple weeks because then I would run out of functional stickers that go underneath, and I might even run out of the longer checklists. But I think having 4 colors and 4 different weeks made it really easy to add each of those colors on every week on Friday so that they were all evenly spread out. It just worked out so perfectly, like I said before. But as I continue putting down the checklist, I will then get into the sidebar, which currently I just put the habit trackers and blank weekly schedule. But I wanted to talk a little bit more about this planner and how I use it. I use these weekly spreads as an extension of my to-do list. I put all of my main things that I want to get done in here, and I try to plan things out the night before, the main things that I want to try to accomplish, and I'll leave some space for anything that I want to add. But this planner really is my to-do list planner. Plus it also serves the purpose of me being able to use these kawaii kits and monthly kits for 4 weeks. That is something that I really enjoy, but I also love using a lot of different shops and a lot of different kits in my memory planner. One thing that I struggled with last year was being able to use these monthly kits, but also incorporating weekly kits. And although I didn't think having 2 planners would make any sense, it actually has worked out for me. I'm able to add in my to-do list and change things around as I need to. I love using Sweet Kawaii Design stickers because I can move those around so easily. If I plan to go grocery shopping on a Thursday and that day comes and goes and I didn't go, I just take that icon and move it to the next day. Sometimes I will just use icons instead of writing it down because I usually will know which types of things I tend to put off for the next day. But if I already have something written down, it doesn't bother me if it is on the wrong day. If I get it done, it was done that week, and that's all that really matters. Or if it didn't get done, I'll write a little note and say, nope, that did not happen. But it's been really nice having this planner because I feel like there are a lot of little things that I do throughout the day, and I don't always want to write all of those things in my memory spread. I want to try to focus more on the memories with the boys. So it's been nice to have this planner to just write down everything that I need to do. And I'm really trying to move away from to-do lists in my memory spread. Some days I just don't have much else that went on besides all of my to-dos for that day, so that makes it tough. And right now, a big majority of my day is doing preschool and prepping for preschool. So once summer comes, I'm kind of excited to see how my memory planner changes. I feel like my days have been going by so quickly because of all the preschool work that we have been doing. But anyways, I am probably posting this video around May sometime. Right now, it's the last day of April, so I don't know how long it's going to take me to edit this. But I have been filming these monthly spreads before the month begins so that I have them ready to go. I have been using this on a daily basis. I had January posted, and now this is the April video going up. I do have February and March filmed. I just don't know how I want to go about getting those videos done. I'm thinking about just going through and adding music to me setting up those months. For me, recording the voiceover and editing the voiceover to try to match the video in certain spots takes me the longest. So I don't know if I want to just add music to those. At least for the month of February, it feels like it was so long ago, and the kit I used was Valentine's themed, so it kind of feels out of place now. So I'm thinking about just putting it up with music. At least the month of March isn't really centered around St. Patrick's Day, but I've really been focusing on trying to get my memory plan with me's up. Right now I feel like I'm never going to catch up in that planner, but I really love the spreads that I have been making in there, so I do want to get those up. I guess I'm just thinking out loud at this point, but let me know if you think I should still get February and March up. Should I try to get voiceovers done with those or just put music to those? There's also the option of just showing what the spreads look after the pen. Let me know if you're interested in seeing the entire process. I pretty much do the same thing every month, but if you have any thoughts on that, please leave a comment down below. As I'm going through these weeks and laying stickers down, I'm pretty much just trying to color block, adding the stickers where the color matches, and also trying to spread out the full boxes. I really enjoy having white space in this planner. I think it's a bit easier to write on the paper than on the stickers. For the most part, I try to mix the stickers up, especially because I don't have a ton of stickers to work with, so I kind of have to be creative with where they go. But for the first week and the last week, there is some structure to the stickers that are below the checklist. In the first week, I added all of the quarter boxes in the same spot on Monday through Friday, and at the bottom of each day, there was either a full box or a half box. And then for the last week, Again, I added the quarter boxes in the same spot, except this time I was able to do all 7 days. And for the bottom of each day, I was able to do 7 half boxes. In between that, I either had a full box or a cloud sticker or large deco. Then I realized that I had all this large deco that I was able to use, so I decided to add one of those in the top of each of the sidebars. And actually, off camera, once I was done filming, I ended up using the extra checklist in my sidebar as well. So I will try to get some footage of the after the pen, and hopefully I'll get that in this video. But I decided to use that as my main to-dos that I wanted to get done that week. The important things that I didn't know exactly which day it would be, but I knew I had to at least look into those. And that ended up working out really well because if I had all of my to-dos done for the day, I looked in my sidebar to see what else I could work on. So hopefully the kits in the future will allow me to still have that in future months. It's always exciting to see what designs Tasia is going to be coming out with. I am currently subscribed to both the Kawaii kits and the monthly kits, but I tend to pick and choose which ones are my favorites, and I will skip the ones that I'm not completely in love with. It's really easy to go into your account and skip a month if you need to, but I feel like the hardest part is deciding which kit to use for which month. Obviously, the monthly kits are kind of geared toward a certain month, but it's still hard to decide whether I want to use the monthly kit or the Kawaii kit. Lately, I have been purchasing both of them, and I tend to use the Kawaii kits, and PJ will use the monthly kits in his planner. But I really need to decide on a kit for May because it is the last day of April, and I really need to film my May video. But I keep going back and forth on which kit I want to use. Here are all the stickers that I have left over. And even then, I was able to use a lot of it throughout the month. Here are all the spreads before the pen. And here are how they look after the pen. I also wanted to show my Easter week spread since that was a week that I did off camera, and it was one of those in-between weeks, the last days of March and the first days of April. I have really been enjoying using this planner, and one of my favorite things is being able to check things off as I go along. Beforehand, I never really had a place to check things off. I would just write myself a bunch of notes, which I still do, but it's so nice to be able to do that. And as of right now, I'm still just planning the night before because it's hard for me to really plan too much in the future because things change so much, but this has been working for me, and I really hope you guys enjoyed watching me put these spreads together. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.